Šakil, thank you for speaking to Sport Klub and welcome to Belgrade. First of all, when I was thinking who should I interview of Olympiacos players, you were one of the candidates because of your this amazing life story. I was watching some of that in overseas. Is that the name of the EuroLeague?
Yeah, the EuroLeague doc. Yeah.
You were starring in that EuroLeague documentary. So can you take us through maybe? I will just sit and listen. I didn't do my homework and
no,
check it.
Fun.
So I would like to sit and listen to your career and all of the problems you've been through, and now you're a EuroLeague player of one of the top teams in EuroLeague.
Yeah, I mean, the story I think is like a Hollywood type story, you know. Basically from my position to here, just growing up with a single mom, I think, you know, I didn't have the best guidance, you know, as far as I was able to do a lot of the things that I wanted to do. So, you know, me and my friends just got mixed up into some bad things, did some jail time, but even when I was in jail, I knew that I was going to make something of my life. I just didn't know what. So I think I came to a crossroads where either I'm going to pursue basketball or I'm not. I was older, and I chose to do it. Worked, you know, at furniture stores, worked at Pizza Hut. It's cool, you know. I think it taught me a lot, you know. It built a lot of character for me, you know. It's one thing from, you know, cleaning the Pizza Hut restaurant and now playing in front of, you know, 20,000 fans. You know, it's kind of incomparable, but, you know, the same ones you see, you know, at the top are the same ones, you know, you're going to see at the bottom and vice versa. So, yeah, man, it was interesting. You know, it's been many years. I've had new challenges since being in Europe to get to this level, but it was worth it.
When was that moment when you said you knew that you will make something out of your life? But when was that moment when you knew that you are going to pursue a basketball career? When was that, and what was the crucial thing that you...
I was actually working in a seafood restaurant. I was in the kitchen working.
Where was that? Sorry.
It's in Linwood, Washington. Okay. It's called Anthony's Grill.
That's western part of
yeah,
USA.
Western in Seattle. Yeah. It's like 15 minutes north of Seattle. I believe it was Father's Day or Mother's Day. It's been a while. It was one of those two. It was just such a busy day. I was in the back making shrimp cocktails and all of this stuff. And then in that moment, at the end of the shift, when I was taking the trash out, I called my mom and I said, I'm about to quit and I'm just about to go back to school. It broke me that much. And I quit that day, and the rest was history.
How old were you
at that time? I believe I was 21.
21,
yeah. So about to turn 21.
So you're college level, right?
Yeah, I was at junior college because I did 1 year junior college. I set 2 years out, and then I went back to junior college. Okay. So yeah, it was kind of like a university, even though it was only junior college. And it was just the weirdest thing because I had, you know, like I was like, okay, I'll go back, but I didn't know how serious I was. But that day, how many people it was, how demanding it was. I was standing on my feet the whole time, and I said, well, I can just be dunking if I'm going to be doing it, if I'm going to be exerting all this energy. So
I can fly as well.
Yeah. Exactly. So it worked out.
And tell me, now playing in front of 20,000 people, how often do you remember that moment?
Yeah.
Not just you said being in prison, but being in those workplaces which are hard to do.
Yeah, you know, like as far as like the working, like that was honorable. I don't look at that as a bad thing. For me, you learn a lot of skills, and I never thought I was better than the next person ever. And there was a lot of people that thought they were better than me, which is fine, you know. My mom taught me to be very humble, but even now, like, you have dreams or nightmares of going back to certain situations, whether it's being in jail or running from the police, whatever it may have been. Like, you still have those memories, you know, and you wake up and it's all over. The older I get, the less frequently they are, but, like, it's for sure a form of PTSD that's involved in going through that much trauma. So I think every day I forget a little bit more. But if I think about it, of course, I remember. But, you know, I don't want to forget my, you know, what got me to this point. But at the same time, I have a wife, I have a son, I have 2 sons, you know, I have a new life. That requires more attention than me being like, I want to prove everybody wrong and just using that as motivation. It's not the same.
You mentioned your family. Of course, that's one of that big dream that you have in your life now. But then again, considering basketball dream, do you think there is more to be dreamt? Is that right?
As far as basketball?
Yeah. I mean, you're wearing Olympiacos shirt now. You're playing tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you know, especially after losing in the Final Four, you know, I don't really do the whole online thing, but I hear from teammates what people are saying online, and it's just weird that anybody would want to break up what we have or try to get better than this. There is no better than this. You win your league or you don't, you know. Every year somebody has to lose. So it's kind of a beauty in making it to the Final Four. But of course you want to win the championship. But if I look back on my career and, you know, I go to 4 or 5 Final Fours and I never win, I'll be bummed, but, you know, that's a new motivation for the next chapter of my life.
And playing in USA, getting into the NBA, is there a space for that kind of dreaming?
No, that I decided long ago, like when I came over to Europe, I had opportunities to go to training camps, and for some reason, I didn't go. I mean, if I knew what I knew now, how much they're getting paid, you know, I would have been focused. But no, I wouldn't trade my situation for the world. Like, I'm comfortable here. I met my wife in Europe. You know, I have 2 beautiful sons. So for me, I don't even think about the NBA. It's not even a thought. You know, I know how political it is. I know how hard it is. So I'll leave that to the young guys.
And tell me, for example, for somebody who has this dilemma, and I guess that lots of Americans has this dilemma when they come to Europe. Should I come here? What can I expect? What would be your piece of advice? Hey, come here, come overseas.
Yeah.
Try it. You will not think about NBA ever again, and it will be good for you, actually.
Yeah, I mean, it just depends what people want. Like, I grew up wanting that NBA dream, and if I was younger, maybe I would chase it. But then I also see, you know, guys that were in the NBA come over here and they never look back. So I just think it's all about preference, what you enjoy, what you prefer. You know, you get to a breaking point where you're like, no, it's not worth it anymore. But that's for you to find out, you know. I really think it's a personal journey. Like, nobody can tell somebody, hey, come over here, live an amazing life, because maybe they can go play in the NBA. So, you know, I think that's for that person to figure out.
Tell me, in your career, you had quite a few interesting clubs where you played. Besiktas, Gaziantep, as I remember, Vašeg, Avtodor,
Gran Canaria.
Gran Canaria. So, which one would you? Which club is in the best memory for you, or somewhere where was most interesting to you to play?
Yeah, like, I mean, outside of, like, of course, Olympiacos, I think all of the Turkish clubs, just because it felt like home. It was one of those places where, I don't know, it was kind of weird. Like, when I was there, I felt at peace. You know, every single time, every different stop, it felt familiar. Versus, you know, in a place like Italy, where it was my first year out, I wasn't making too much money. I was just kind of like, okay, what do? I don't know what's about to happen. But once I settled into, you know, playing overseas, the most comfortable place for me was for sure Turkey. And, you know, Gaziantep was an amazing place to play. I learned a lot under Coach Ninad, Ushak as well, and Besiktas, you know, playing for Coach Dushko. You know, I feel like I learned so much at all those stops.
Besiktas was the club that launched you and gave you the opportunity to be a EuroLeague player, because in the middle of the season, as I remember, you switched to Olympiacos. It's been 4 years now, right?
Yeah.
In Olympiacos. So what does this club represent to you? Because I guess that you are the longest term of all the players of Olympiacos, it's yours.
Besides Papa Nicolau, but
of course. Yeah, he's there
legend.
Before even he was born.
Yeah, you know, for me, I feel like it's a sense of pride that I carry with me for playing for this club. Like, forget all the day-to-day things, or just like I'm here to play basketball. It's like, no, like Piraeus means something different, you know, the red and white means something different to me, you know, and that's how I interpret it. If I wanted to be a guy where it's like I want to chase money every step of the way, I want to chase a better opportunity, that's, for me, what fun is, you know, what fun is, you know, in that, to be honest, you know, and that's just me being older and understanding. I would much rather be in a comfortable situation and just be loved by the fans, you know, loved by the organization. You know, that's one of those things where I sit down every now and then and I'll be like, wow, I've done a lot, and, you know, and I still feel like I got a lot left.
Tell me, I remember this game in semifinals of the Greek Cup this year. I was commenting on that game, so that's why I know this.
I got you.
You were playing Prometheus. You were not in the squad, I think,
no.
because of the foreigner rule?
Yes.
So, Coach Bartzokas was quite angry at the players because they were up by many, and then they started to relax. And he was very angry. He shouted, "This is not the club that you represent." He wanted to, you know, shake those guys.
Of course.
So, what are the things that represent Olympiacos in like few words? Which Coach Bartzokas was telling about?
I mean, it's similar to the workers, you know, in the Piraeus area that work on the ships. Like, it's just hard nosed. It's like, you know, grit, grind. Nothing's gonna be pretty. You know, we fighting to the end. You know, don't run away from challenges. And, you know, I think a lot of people don't like it to be difficult. But if you don't like it to be difficult, what shall you do? You know, how do you get to the next level? How do you, you know, excel in life? Everything is difficult. So I think, you know, and Coach probably got caught up in the moment. It's very difficult this season with so many new guys. But I know what Coach wants, and I know what he demands, and I know what the fans demand. I know what the city demands, and what Olympiacos stand for. And, you know, as long as you give 100%, the result doesn't matter. But you get closer and closer, you know, the harder and harder you work.
When I see the list of you guys, the Olympiacos roster, all of you have the contract not for the next year, but for the next 2 years, I guess. I'm not sure about your situation, but I know that all of you guys, you have a contract for the next season. So in this position now, season is not over yet. It's not anywhere near over because there is playoffs, Final Four, and everything playing in even this season. So how does it feel that you know that you are about to play with all of those guys in next few years, that the team is composed for the next season as well? Because not many EuroLeague clubs has this kind of comfort.
Yeah, you know, and I think that's a credit to the organization, to the management here, to the presidents, to kind of follow that trend of keeping the same guys together. You know, we enjoy each other. But I think it's going to be a luxury if we're able to get everybody healthy, and Coach has all these different people at his disposal to go out there and affect the game. I'm looking forward to it. You know, I want to be at the maximum strength to give us the best opportunity, whatever 12 players that Coach decides. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for this final stretch. I wish the playoffs was here already, but soon enough.
Sorry, but for example, playing here until the end of your career, I guess that's something that...
Oh, man. You know, it's one of those things where, of course, that's, you know, my dream. It isn't necessarily about this or that. It's just, you know, this is the only club I've ever played for. So to me, that would make sense. But, you know, I don't know what the future holds. Of course, I'm comfortable. I'm happy. My family's happy, but we shall see, you know. So, you know, it's another year, and that's a long time from now, but it also isn't. So, you know, we'll see next year.
considering this tomorrow's game, you felt already how it is to play in Belgrade Arena, but then again, this tomorrow's game is quite different because Partizan is do or die situation. So, what do you expect of this tomorrow's atmosphere and tomorrow's game?
To be honest, if I had $1 for every time somebody told me it was a do or die game in EuroLeague, you know, I would be really, really happy.
Do you know that in this round there is only one game which is, I don't want to say not important, but doesn't give.
Yeah, effect because of the play-in. Yeah,
all the other 8 games, they are do or die.
I mean, you know, I think it's a great chance and it's a great opportunity to see what we're made of as a team, you know. I was saying in the locker room that we need to approach this like a EuroLeague final, like a EuroLeague championship, because what we're going to have to give tomorrow is what we're going to have to give every single game during the playoffs and the Final Four. And it's demanding, and it's good to see where guys are at, which guys will be locked in and not afraid of the moment, because it's going to be incredible atmosphere in that arena. And it was last year. And I don't think, you know, that was crazy. You know, that was the first time experiencing that, and it's just like, wow, it's the loudness, you know.
Do you know why is that? Because you know that Olympiacos fans has this connection with Zvezda fans, arch rivals. And, for example, as I remember last season, that whistles that you guys got when you were out on the warm-up, that was the loudest. Whistles ever. Maybe whistles for Real Madrid players during the playoffs.
I think Coach was out last season. I think he was sick, so we traveled, you know. I had a really good game. That was a really fun crowd, but, you know, a few guys, you know, that's all it takes. So, no, hats off to, you know, to the fans. You know, it's an amazing atmosphere, and I am 100% looking forward to it. Win, lose, loud, you know, rowdy. Let's have fun.
Okay, thank you, Šakil, and good luck tomorrow and the rest of the season.
Thank you so much. Thank you for choosing me.
Thank you for having this interview. So.